Okay, so I'll just say welcome everyone to our lunch and learn at 6 o'clock. It's the Creative Leadership Workshop with Elisabeth Sporer. My name is Mark Romeo. I'm the event manager at AIA Los Angeles. With me helping is Lori Diamond. She is our office manager at AIA Los Angeles. And I'd like to introduce Elisabeth Sporer. Elisabeth works with CEOs, founders, and leadership teams to build successful A&D firms through an integral approach that combines business strategy consulting with leadership coaching. Elisabeth holds a Master of Science in Advanced Architecture Design from Columbia University in the city of New York, and a Master of Architecture and a Bachelor of Architecture, both from TU Berlin. With that, I'm going to give it over to Elisabeth. Elisabeth, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Mark, for the introduction. Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us or me today to the Creative Leadership Workshop, an event hosted by the AIA Los Angeles chapter. I wanted to thank Executive Director Carlo Caccavale for setting the event up, and more so chapter staff Mark Romeo and Lori Diamond, who will, in addition, facilitate with me the small groups tonight. Special thanks go to event and brand strategist Lisa Bockerin, who worked with me on this event and helps me with my monthly newsletters. So we, as Mark has mentioned already, we may share personal information today, and I want to remind all here that what is shared is confidential and stays within this kind of confines of this meeting. Please also note that I encourage you to share only as much as is comfortable for you. We will only record the part where I present and not the small groups. So let me tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm an A&D business strategist, a management consultant, and a leadership coach. And my path was shaped by 25 and more years working with over 50 A&D firms. I worked basically through all the ranks of that an architecture firm has to offer. I was a project and lead designer, became part of the management teams, then part of the leadership teams, and since 8 years, I work as an A&D business strategy consultant. My approach working with clients combines business strategy with leadership coaching. My monthly newsletters offer insights into A&D industry trends. Today's event continues the dialogue I started in 2018 with a series of presentations that offer perspectives on topics relevant to A&D practices. You can watch most event recordings on my website following the QR code on screen. And the 17 plus events are centered around topics like business strategy, ownership transition, financial management, practice matters, entrepreneurship, mentorship, project management, and international practice. So in today's event, you will find out about the most dominant voices in your head, and we name them the saboteurs. You will learn how they help you in your career or private life path and how they impact your thinking and behavior in a negative way. I will show you some alternative thought patterns to practice and call them the SAGE approaches. So the event is structured in 7 parts. Some of them are presentation style and some of them are small groups. So I start with an introduction to creative leadership. Then they are followed by insights into the saboteurs. Then we work in a small group to explore your saboteurs. And then I will offer you guidance on how to tackle those saboteur voices with the SAGE approach. Of course, we will work again in small groups after this to practice how to tackle the saboteurs. Lastly, I'll offer step-by-step guidance on how to deal with stressful situations as a take-home piece. And before we leave, we open up for Q&A. An A&D leader is expected to have answers to the big questions of why, how, what, and who. So why are you doing what you're doing? And what is the cause or purpose of the organization? How do you do what you do? Is it a culture first approach? And what do you do? What are the steps you take to make your goals happen? And who is part of the implementation? These are questions that I deal with in my strategy sessions, and a lot of my recordings actually do go back to that. So tonight we focus on leadership. So it all starts with you. The path to success starts with a winning mind, but are we always in a winning mind? No, of course not. However, we can learn to recover as quickly as possible when we are not in a winning or positive mindset. Knowing who you are and how you may behave is essential to the skill of being and getting into the positive mindset. An internal saboteur voice can be thought with an external sage thought, if you will. We are talking about behavior changes that can be accomplished with repetitive practicing, like learning the skills of playing an instrument or growing muscles when working out in the gym. Now, mental fitness is a term I often use to describe this kind of process. So creative leadership is about the ability to self-regulate, as shown in knowing who you are with its limits and opportunities, understanding, managing, and self-regulating your physical, emotional, and mental reactions, the ability to turn curveballs into winning shots, and by introducing some predictability into unpredictable scenarios. Leaders who are self-aware and self-regulate enable the same in their staff. So tonight we will learn about the saboteurs that impact on your career and on others in the first small group session. And then we will practice how to tackle the saboteurs with SAGE tools in the second group session. When we think about leadership, we have leadership teams in mind. The red cape leader of the 20th century is gone. What comes with it is a change in how we approach team leadership. Instead of managing people, we inspire others to enable success. Productivity through fear is replaced by an effectiveness sparked by inspiration. This allows extrinsic pressure to make space for intrinsic motivation. And we don't look at peers as competitors, we look at them as collaborators. We shift from talking about the future to creating the work of now, the future of work to the work of now. Now, you can only know yourself. You know who you think and how you feel. You do not know or can learn to know how others think and feel. You can, however, offer empathy and openness to others so they may share how they think and feel, not fear, excuse me. Being able to act and respond quickly in any situation is a trademark of a leader. Being able to read the room, so to say, and knowing when to ask others what they think or how they feel. I am trained in New Venture West's coaching approach and incorporate some of the positive intelligence coaching methods, which I was trained in as well, into my practice. So thank you for taking the personality test either ahead of tonight, or if not, hopefully by now you have taken it. The result profile shows a list of 9 saboteurs with orange bars and rankings and numbers. And the top 3 saboteurs are the ones shown on the very top of that list. I want you to look at the one listed at the very top. This is the primary saboteur interfering with your head, and we will focus on this profile for you tonight. Now, my own test results show the restless, the controller, and the hyperachiever saboteurs as the top 3 interfering with my behavior. The restless seeks new things to do that are exciting. The hyperachiever seeks success and recognition. And the controller seeks independence and control over my work. Now combined, they keep me going since these are rather action-oriented saboteur voices. However, the restless may keep me from doing things that are not fun or simply repetitive, kind of boring. The hyperachiever may keep me from making connections that are not success-oriented or being dismissive of others' contributions in the team. And the controller may keep me from giving control easily to others in a collaborative setting. I have learned to stop these voices when they are not helpful and not give them the space to expand and lead. And inner dialogue may come out like, oh, thank you for your advice, but no, thank you. But there are other strategies possible to direct thought patterns on a positive path, and we will go into some of those tonight. So let's take a brief survey to find out more about ourselves, about the audience for me. So please look at your test results and pick the profile listed at the very top. This is the profile to choose and enter into the survey box that will show on your screen now. Now I have to find out whether I do that or Mark, are you doing that? You're muted. I cannot hear you.
I can do that for you. I apologize.
Okay. So Mark is launching a survey and I would like you to put your top saboteur as a choice in that survey. Only one choice out of the 9 and submit it. And that way we can look at a profile of the group for tonight. There should be 13 results, I think.
Well, I don't think Lori and I entered our results.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I did.
Oh, I.
It pops up, I'm voting.
All right. Can you share the results, please?
Yes, I'm going to end the poll, correct?
Yes.
Okay, end poll and share results.
Thank you. And here we are. So hyper-rational, hyperachiever, hypervigilant, and controller are the ones that come out of tonight's survey. Awesome. It's interesting. I will get into that a little bit more. Actually, let me take a screenshot of that. Hold on a second.
There's also Stickler hiding down there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stickler, yeah, is down there as well.
Oh, I see.
Thank you. Scroll down, Mark.
Yes.
Got it.
Can everyone see that?
No, you have to scroll down on the poll thing.
Oh, I did.
Or I do. Okay, I guess everybody else does.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Such.
Now, Elizabeth, I've added the each file in the chat. So there's one G1A, G1B, and G1C. So just let everybody know which one they should choose.
We're getting there. Thank you.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can close the survey now.
Okay.
All right. So here you look at repeat. Here you look at a diagram that shows the 9 saboteurs plus a judge that, according to positive intelligence's approach, can at any point take over your thinking, feeling, and behavior. A saboteur, and also the judge, refers to an internalized voice, A voice is part of our personality that may create a dialogue in our head. In a nutshell, the approach assumes that we all have these 10 voices going on in our head. Some of these voices are stronger than others, depending on our upbringing and childhood adolescence experiences. The top 3 voices will most often interfere with our thought patterns. The test you took shows which of these 9 voices or saboteurs, as they are called in positive intelligence, will show up as the top 3. Each one of them has been instrumental to your life and success story, and at the same time affected your life in negative ways. Understanding the negative thoughts and emotions that may come up when the voices speak up, and then immediately interfering with them to steer your thoughts towards a positive thought path can be learned. Let's look at an A&D firm, or A&D firms in my experience. In my experience, A&D firm leadership teams show as top saboteurs the profiles of a hyperachiever and a stickler, shown in orange. Also high up are the profiles of the controller, pleaser, and hyperrational, excuse me. The hyperachiever always wants to be recognized for accomplishments. It may lead to a firm pursuing design awards or recognition within the peer environment. Not meeting high standards is not an option. Everybody is expected to push the envelope and go above and beyond, and may be criticized if and when not following that lead and putting the extra hours in on top of it. The stickler always seeks the best outcome and has very high expectations related to quality. It may lead to a firm over-delivering to its clients without getting paid accordingly. It may lead to setting quality standards above and beyond of what is considered industry standard. It may lead to not meeting deadlines. It may lead to criticism of others' work or approach as not being good enough. What all these profiles show is that we may get caught in a predictable thought pattern. And when we recognize and understand these patterns, we can learn to steer our thought patterns down a positive path. Here we can see value words associated with saboteur profiles. We are looking at core values firm leaders might be drawn to, connected to their respective saboteurs. Those core values rooted in the saboteurs are the basis of company culture. So a firm with a restless kind of leadership gravitas, if you will, may be interested in curiosity and creativity. The stickler leadership is more about excellence and legacy and order. A hyper-rational kind of tendency in the leadership seeks for competence and responsibility and efficiency. And if there's a strong controller kind of component in the leadership, there will be a lot of desire for power, respect, and confidence. A leadership team that has a strong pleaser profile will be about empathy and altruism. Hyper-vigilant kind of leadership teams, gravitas will look for safety, financial stability, and reliability. The victim profile looks for justice, fairness, and equity. The avoider profile will gravitate towards well-being, dignity, peace, and joy. The hyperachiever will gravitate towards achievement, ambition, recognition, and pride. And then again, the judge, as an overarching voice that we all have, is purely about criticism, negativity, and being judgmental and opinionated. So not a value in a way that I could associate anything positive with. But we all have that, and we can manage that. Now here you see the 9 saboteurs with the trademarks such as motivation and style. So when it comes to the motivation, basically what what are we planning to do? What drives us? There is the independent seeking group of the controller, stickler, and avoider. Then there's the acceptance seeking group of the hyperachiever, pleaser, and the victim. And then there is the security seeking group of the restless, hypervigilant, and hyperrational. The other way to look at it is what style of communication do we prefer? So there's the assertive group of the controller, hyperachiever, and the restless. There's an earning communication style of the stickler, the pleaser, and the hypervigilant. And an avoiding communication style of the avoider, victim, and hyperrational. So now we are going to break into 3 groups, and the purpose of this exercise is to create an awareness of behavior patterns with its impact on you and others rooted in your top saboteur. Please check the group chat. And first of all, check what kind of profile you are, your top saboteur, and which group you fall into. So group A has the controller, stickler, and avoider. B, again, the hyperachiever, pleaser, and victim. And C has the restless, hypervigilant, and hyperrational. Also, please check in the chat. We post some documents, and we want you to download the document that is relevant for your group and briefly scan through that. When we get to the small group, you get more instruction from the facilitators. So we will have a facilitator in each group. It's me, Mark, and Laurie. You download the profile, G1A, G1B, or G1C, meaning if you're group A, it's G1A, if you're group B, you're G1B, etc. Then you open this group's profile and you just look at one page. It's a 4-page document. You look at one page, the page that is relevant for your saboteur, and it has only very limited text in it. You read it for 2 minutes, and then we start conversations. And these are the prompts of what the conversations will be about. And you'll be called up by the facilitators to share your thoughts and experiences relevant to your saboteur. So we have I see the documents in the chat. Thank you, Mark. I guess we could start now. I hope everybody knows which group you fall into. I put up the screen here again to identify in which group your profile falls. And to open the groups, you go under the 3 dots. And we see the breakout rooms. Oops.
Elisabeth, I made you the host, and I don't know, you may have to assign them, or you can.
Yeah, it looks a little different than we had it earlier, and I'm a little surprised, but okay. It's fine. I open all rooms, and please just pick group 1A, group 1B, or group 1C, and not the G2 ABC. And then we have about 15 to 20 minutes in those small groups, and we come back into the big group. All right.
Sorry, where are the groups? I don't see them. Are they in the chat?
Okay. Okay. Do you see the more with the 3 dots as an option in your menus?
Oh, yes.
And if you go there, it gives the option of breakout rooms.
Actually, I don't see that.
No.
Because I did open them up for everybody.
No, I'm not sure why not. Lori, do you have an idea?
You have to allow people to join the breakout. We haven't had that little pop-up yet, so you have to maybe launch it. Elisabeth as the host.
Would you like to make me the host again? Maybe we
yes. Or Laurie. It seems like I close it again briefly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I open all rooms. So you should get a message. All participants have been invited to join the breakout rooms. There's a message I get in my top right. So please check again in with the 3 dots in the
Please
breakout
make me the
rooms.
host really quick.
Okay.
Caption. Yeah, for some reason we're not seeing that. I don't know why.
Apologies, guys. We're always still just learning.
No,
We
No
practiced and it
We
did
did.
work.
we did.
I swear it worked in the tech run.
Of course it did.
Huh.
Definitely
So-
been there.
Yeah.
So I close all rooms, Mark. Do you want to take on the host and see whether you can?
Yes, I don't know if did you give it to me or Lori?
I did. Not.
Let's see. Does it say Mark is now host?
No, it doesn't.
If you go to my, let's see.
I don't see even the option of how I make you a host.
Okay. That's not good.
If you look at his picture, and then in the very top right, there should be 3 little dots next
Yeah, I
to
see that.
his
Yeah, make
head.
host. Okay. All right. Laurie, how about I make you the host? Can I do that?
You could do that too.
Okay.
There it is. I said Lori Diamond is the new host.
Okay, so we are going to open all the rooms. First. Let's see. Anybody see the thing to join, or should I assign you guys?
Nothing yet.
It doesn't show that. I had the same problem. You don't get the option to join.
What is that?
Okay. Well, we are not a big group, so we just stay in a big group and we do it this way. How's that?
That sounds
That's
good.
great.
Apologies.
So we changed the sequence so it's one big group and not
Okay.
no small group.
There we go. Settings.
So welcome. You're here because your top saboteur profile is either fitting A, B, or C. And so you can be independent seeking, excuse me, I have to even look it up. Acceptance seeking or security seeking, with a security seeking motivation in this group. I would ask you to go to the chat, and I hope you see that, and pick your group's document that is listed there. It's G1A, G1B, or G1C. I see it. You have to scroll up a little bit because Mark has posted it already earlier on. Once you have that, open it up and read only the one page that is relevant for your saboteur. Should take about 2 minutes in my experience. And then once you have read that, I will call one of you up and ask you to share your experience with your own saboteur. And we will hopefully get to do a round of having everybody to share some insights on that. All right. Were you able to download the documents? Okay.
In
All right.
process.
In process. Good. Thank you for
Sorry, they're kind of big.
Yeah. I did this event a month ago in person live and with a big group. We were over 30 people and it was very chatty. There was a lot going on. I tried to replicate in an environment with just Zoom, its technology is a little bit in the way, but I think we can get to some of it. Okay. Guy, can I call you up and you share with us? Okay.
Sure,
Thank you for volunteering.
sure.
So please name your top saboteur.
It's stickler.
You're a stickler. That's very, as is to be expected in the environment. So what is your experience? Or what are the strengths of your saboteur? Did it help you in your career?
I think because it caused me to question myself and to ensure that when I felt that I had an instinct about something that I was correct. I think that it causes me to look at details and try to troubleshoot. Sometimes instead of just simply doing a task, I want to see what the repercussions might be.
You look very
Oftentimes there are
careful. Yeah.
consequences to everything you do. And I think that's been a real help. I think where it's hurts is possibly it causes second guessing. It causes a bit of probably covering my bases too much, maybe. So things like that. Like I think you said earlier, it's about maybe overperforming or overpromising or causing some hiccups in deliveries.
How about, do you work in teams? How does it affect your team environment? Curious.
Teams, I would think because communication, you have to really figure out what the personality types of the people you're working with and to make room for them, because I've realized in leading teams that some people want to collaborate in a way that's more fluid, and some people want to just have the directions more linear, right? It's harder for them to think outside of an A to Z approach. They have to see that. And part of that in when I work with teams is I try to give more context so that everybody can make decisions on their own. And that kind of trips some people up. So it's a communications issue I've had to learn.
I see. So do you think that having this stickler profile of a saboteur had negative impact on your relationships or the interaction with others?
I think it did with certain types that I wasn't prepared. When I was starting out my career, I had architects who gave me. I'm a lighting designer, but I'm also an architect, and I think they gave me a lot of work and just sort of stepped away and let me do my business on my own. I worked with my mentors, but at the same time, they trusted me enough to do work. As I've gotten older and more experienced and a broader range of experiences, I think that it was harder for me to realize that some people just really don't like that approach. And so I think sometimes my stickler approach may make me repeat when I feel like I haven't been heard, or I feel like they haven't communicated, or they have not been independent enough. So I would repeat to make sure that we cover all those bases. And I think that can become kind of problematic.
I think the result is probably very good, but I can see that some people might be a little bit ruffled by it. Oh, thank you for sharing.
Sure.
In my screen, I have Sandra right next to Guy. Are you able to share with us?
Sure.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi.
So what is your top saboteur?
My top saboteur was the hypervigilant.
Okay. And what is your experience as a strength of the saboteurs? How did it help you how does it still help you in your life? What is the characteristics of it?
Well, I breezed through the characteristics, but one of them that kind of spoke to me the most was just being kind of sensitive. And I like to read a room. I like to spend a lot of time understanding a conversation and where people are at by what they say, and also by the way they react to things. So I think that's been a strength, and I see way ahead of myself. Like I see things way ahead. So I'm able to kind of predict how things might go in a certain direction. That I think usually surprises some of my colleagues when I'm correct.
But does it, now I'm stirring the conversation a little bit, I have to admit.
Mhm.
My experience with hypervigilance is they go in a room and they first see where all the dangers are, what can happen, what can go wrong, and they have plans A, B, C, D for what can go wrong. So that's, yes, they plan ahead, but they over plan ahead because they see all these things happening or that could happen in a heartbeat. Do you experience that?
I don't know if I would say that I like a little bit. I understand what you're saying, and I definitely understood the kind of crying wolf, like as soon as like having one experience and then just reminding people what that experience could be, like it could appear in a certain situation or something like that. Yes, I understand, and I think
Okay.
I think it's also it's stressful, and
Yeah.
I can see that it would be stressful for my colleagues as well.
And so you think it can be stressful for them. Again, I'm leading a little bit, I admit. The experience can be also that they feel like they are optimistic, and not you as a person, but you as a hypervigilant person might see too much danger, and whereas they see a lot of opportunities, a lot of good things ahead of them. And you might point out all the dangers and what could go wrong with that. And so they feel like, well, but we want to explore, we want to go there.
I wouldn't say that I was so hyper vigilant that I'm always exploring dangers. I look
Okay.
for opportunities, and I've been trained to see things not going as planned as a way to reinvent and reconsider. So and find
Awesome.
opportunities. So
Awesome. Thank you. Kathy, you were right above Sandra. Are you able to go next?
Sure, I can try.
Hi, Kathy. Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So
Sorry,
what
I'm
is
multitasking here. So
uh-oh.
I have a kid. I have a kid sitting next to me. So we'll see how it goes.
So what is your top saboteur for the result?
Hyper rational.
Hyper-rational. Okay, good. And can you say whether you see yourself represented somewhat in that profile of what you have been reading, or is that you don't see yourself in that?
No, I definitely do. Trying to, I see it in a.
Can you explain it to others? Because yeah, most of us are not hyper-rational in this group, and you have to explain what your modus operandi is, so to say. How do you think? How do you work?
So yeah, everything is. How do I work? Everything is a problem to be solved, and I see everything as pretty methodical and not an emotional. I don't take things very personally, and
how do you deal with people that are emotional in your work environment? Or how is that relationship? Is it easy or is it challenging?
I have learned to be pretty compassionate, and I am empathetic to them, so I feel like people feel relatively supported. But I think that then people who are more driven by emotions tend to perceive me as a little bit cold. So that's been something that I've had to learn to adjust to and show my.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Well, then I ask Latanya. Latanya, are you able to share next?
Yes, I'm hyperachiever.
All right. Please stay on. Now, hyperachiever, in my experience, is one of the top profiles in architecture in design firms. A lot of the leaders in design firms have that because they are was willing to invest so much energy. Now, explain it. Give us a little example how that shows in your life, in your work life.
Well, for me, I always say there's always another level. So once I accomplish something, I'm ready to go on to the next thing. And in my career, I've sometimes made my employment situation, decisions about my employment, about where I work based on whether I fit into the culture of whether there was, if I wasn't feeling like I was able to be successful and achieve, then I've had a couple of instances where my work was valued and appreciated, but I didn't feel that I was making an impact. And so I left those situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally, just my thinking and perception of the situation from the inside and not from the outside.
And how do you think does it you're having this kind of profile of a hyperachiever? How does it impact your relationship with others in a negative way? What do you see?
Well, for folks who I feel like aren't performing, it's very challenging for me. I'm
Yeah.
I feel like we should all get over our limitations, whatever they are, and come to work and make things happen for the greater good. And that's not always possible.
Yeah.
There are certain people that just can't do that. I have done it. It'd take a really long time if I explained all of the different challenges that I've had personally, but it's kind of unfair to put that same level of to expect that from other people is what I've learned. And I have to meet them where they are, and I have had to learn to see and find value in people for what they are bringing to the table. And then I try to encourage them using a coaching model to grow beyond that. It all, again, is, to me, it's just about accomplishing the goals, which for me, if we don't meet our deadlines and make our clients happy, then we aren't going to have work eventually. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. But does it mean that by the end of the day you just get it done, and if the others are not stepping up, you do it, so you take it out of yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Not good. That's a downside for yourself too then. But I
There's one,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's one thing that I've learned early on in my career is if someone didn't do it, I'd just take it on. It's like, get out of my way, I'll just do everything. And then you get to a certain point in your life and you just can't sustain that. It's not sustainable. And you have burnout. So then
You burn
you
out
have to learn
really
to play
fast.
well with others.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to inspire others. That's not so easy, right? I agree. Yeah, thank you so much. Anthony, I would like you to share if you are willing to do that.
Yes,
Welcome.
I'm willing to share.
All right. So what is your top saboteur profile?
Stickler.
All right.
So I could kind of see it was this guy's point of view of like just always, I guess mine is more like trying to be perfect and doing the right thing, and then trying to get the team to do
Yeah.
follow the directions that I'm
Follow
going
the
to,
lead.
because
Yeah.
yes, follow my lead and we can get this done and things like that. So it's been like that for me, and I guess like almost in a negative sense is I'll get a project and I can do, since I know the rules, I can bend the rules. Other people, they come to me and say, well, you can bend the rules, but they won't let me bend the rules. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
it's been like, kind of like, well, you're Mr. Know-it-all, so they let you do whatever you want to do. So it's kind of hard to see other people's point of view when you like just do it. I tell somebody to do something, they say, well, I can't do it that way. They won't let me do it that way. So it's like each company has their own tools and templates and stuff, and I know how to go in and change the templates, and I do things to make my project work and go faster. And they don't say anything when I do it, but if somebody else did it, they would question what they're doing.
Interesting. So you want to be more perfect than they can be, so they,
Yeah.
how do they,
But when I go ahead,
how do they limit you? I'm curious.
because I'm always trying to find the fastest way to do something, and like we had these templates that slowed me down. So I wrote I'm old school, so I wrote a script in the AutoCAD program to make all my windows change the colors that I needed to be, and it saved like 30-40 minutes when on each sheet. So instead of like you have 34 sheets you have to edit, I just did a script and all 34 sheets was done in like 2 seconds. So I took like 30 minutes to write a script.
I see, but not everybody can do that, right?
To do that, yes.
Yeah. Huh, interesting. Oh, good. Thank you for sharing. Ronnie, are you able to share with us?
Yes. Let me turn on my video.
Hi.
Hi.
So
let's,
what is your saboteur profile?
I'm somewhere, I'm a bit of hyper-vigilant and hyper-rational and restless. Yeah, I'm somewhere there.
I see. Which one do you think is strongest in you, or which do you think, you know which one shows most?
Well, I would say it's hyper-rational more. And there are certain things from hyper-vigilant, but more would be hyper-rational, sure. Yeah.
And then how does it show, and what problems does it cause for you?
That I cannot sit without doing anything because I have a lot of things that I have to do.
But that's more the restless one that cannot sit, right?
So that's what I have a mix of all these things. And then sorry, I'm just reading and trying to probably, yeah. So I would say that it creates a lot of, I mean, you don't have time for yourself when you're just thinking of a lot of, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it's not good for personal life, I would say. And sometimes I think because you are trying to step into many shoes, you lose your focus on something that probably needs more nurturing, or something that needs more of your time. So could be superfluous. I mean, that you're not trying to just do one thing. So that's where I am. Yeah.
Okay. Now I have a restless myself that is very strong, and what it does for me, what I love is I have a great amount of curiosity in me. So I always need something new to do, no matter whether it's my personal or my professional life. And I tend to find it too, because the curiosity really drives me. I want to find something, but then I need a team behind me to get things done, because the doing the thing part is not less interesting, right? So I have to have the backup behind me to support me on that, and that's not always there.
Yeah. Yes, I feel it. I feel that. Yes. So those are the negatives, and the positives are just what you mentioned, that you kind of, when you have an open mind and curiosity, you kind of touch upon so many things in your life. You come across so many interesting people, and that is wonderful. And just just to know there is so much in the world that you can do and it's possible. It's
All
just
right. Good.
that's those are the positives.
Okay. Now I see one more. It's a phone number without a name, so I do not know who that is. Would you be able to share with us? Introduce yourself? Okay, I will ping you. I know. Is there anybody that has not shared at this point? If not, then we keep going. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you for sharing, for doing this work with me, with us. And I hope you and assume that you have learned more about your top saboteur, how it helped you in your career path and how it may have impacted your path in a less desirable way. You also heard about how it may impact others. So let's have a look at how habits are formed and how to break habits. We all have developed a behavior pattern for certain stimulants or occurrences, and the information stream follows a known path over and over. However, we have the option to not go down the usual thought path that our saboteur leads us. We can choose to take the other options when it comes to forks in the road. This new path will need to be practiced over and over to create a new habit. Coaching is mostly about creating optimized paths with repetitive practice to make the optimized path a habit. So this diagram shows that different parts of our brain and neurological system will be triggered when choosing a particular path. We see the nerves and we see the nodes. If your saboteurs represent your internal enemies, your sage represents the deeper and wiser part of you. It is the part that can rise above the fray and resist getting carried away by the drama and tension of the moment or falling victim to the lies of the saboteurs. Its perspective can, on any challenge you are facing, is that it's either already a gift, an opportunity, or it could already be actively turned into one. So you can choose a sage path, if you will. So it has access to 5 great powers of your mind and taps into those powers to meet any challenge. These powers lie in regions of your brain that are different from the regions that fuel your saboteurs. So here we go. So these are the 5 great sage powers. You can explore with great curiosity and an open mind. Very helpful for hyper-rational. You can empathize with yourself and others and bring compassion and understanding to any situation, which controller types and stickler types would very much benefit from. You can innovate and create new perspectives and outside the box solutions. Again, also very, very helpful for sticklers, I think. Or you can navigate and choose a path that best aligns with your deeper underlying values and mission. And to activate and take decisive action without the distress, interference, or distractions of the saboteurs. Now, personally, out of the 5, I use the activate one very often, as I've mentioned a few times already, and I bring it back, is I know what the behavior pattern is of what is negative about the saboteurs. And when I see them happening in my head, I can block them right away and just don't and turn in a different direction. Now, the directions I directed my thoughts to are basically the explore, empathize, and the innovate. The navigate one, the activate means I anticipate already a thought that is happening, and I say, stop, no, thank you, not today. And the navigate assumes that you basically are able to almost step outside yourself and look up from a 10,000-foot perspective and start thinking, so is that really relevant right now, this detail in the bigger picture of your life, of your next 10 years of your life, that you win that one battle or that one conversation, rather than you just give in and maybe find a way to connect with that person a different way, rather than be right as a controller. Empathize, I think I don't have to explore. The innovate, I can explain a little bit more, like if you have, let's say you work in a team setting and you want your team to offer new ideas. Not everybody's able to generate these new ideas. However, even though when somebody has nothing really relevant to offer, there's something in what that person says that is good. Pick that 10% and praise it and pray out more out of that person in a follow-up conversation, so that person feels like they are part of the team. That is, I encourage controllers and hyper-rationals very much to engage in that behavior pattern or that practice. Okay, so now we go what was meant to be the small group again, but we do another bigger group and we do a short session. I would like us to practice creating an awareness of the different communication patterns that deviate from our usual patterns. So in this group, again, we go by style. So there is the assertive style, the earning style, and the avoiding style. Mark will post some reading material again in the chat. I would like you to download that and scan through that. It's more information about the 5 powers that I mentioned. And then I would like us to practice a little bit what a different, basically role play, what a different scenario could be like. And Mark, were you able to put it in the chat?
Yes,
Yes.
Lori put it in. It's the 8-step solution. She just put it in.
No, it's the one before.
Oh, is it the
The
sage?
The Sages, yes. So please download the Sages and briefly scan through the 5 pages.
Yes, Lori has uploaded the sages as well. Sorry, we're a little ahead of you.
Thank you very much. Okay. I will do a role play as a first to just give you a little bit of a sense of what I'm expecting. The top saboteur, okay, let me go here. I will list my top saboteur again, which in this case is the controller. And I share a challenging situation. So I was the principal in a mid-sized architecture firm in Oakland, and the controller, accountant controller of the firm, I found her very challenging because of her many, I don't know. We had often encounters that didn't go so well. And as a controller, I unfortunately had a tendency to react angry and just kind of not engage in a conversation that was meaningful, but rather ask straight up, and why did you do that? And what's going on? And I don't understand. Why is this wrong? And I realize to practice a different behavior pattern, I would try to empathize now more with her and connect with the person, because there's a reason, obviously, why she had made this mistake and something was happening in her life. Maybe I need to better understand that. And then she can also admit that she made a mistake and correct it, rather than pretend she didn't make it and we get up in an even bigger fight. So I would suggest simply asking, oh, well, how was your day today? I noticed that there is this document needs a little bit more work. Do you have time to do that now? I would like to see it later. Is there anything I can help you with? And rather offer support than aggression in that sense. Okay, now I'm picking Guy again. as the first one to go. Can you think of a situation describe a situation of what happened in real life and something you might do different now looking at these 5 sage powers? I put them back on screen. You need to unmute yourself.
Well, I think one of the things I learned that I still have to practice is when there are a lot of decisions to be made or a lot of tasks to be made, that it's about trying to constantly prioritize and reprioritize as the day goes on. Sometimes if you don't, you feel like even if you're getting through things, you don't get through 1 or 2 that are valuable to you, that you can beat yourself up about it. So what I try to do is sometimes I realize that I have to accept that I can't do everything all at once, or at least I can't do them all well, for sure. And so I tend to think that the biggest stress reducer that I'm learning is to, even when something feels overwhelming, to start it. Even if I don't finish it, starting it alleviates a lot. So I think in terms of that, I feel like that's an activation.
Okay.
It's a decisive action, even if it isn't one that's to completion.
Got it. Thank you. Okay. Sandra, are you able to give us a quick snapshot? Think of something?
Do you need the situation or just the
Yeah, think of a situation where your typical behavior may have been X and you would rather do now Y, basically a different approach that you think would be better.
I think maybe when a colleague seeing a mistake that a colleague's made or something like that, and not exploring enough more what the situation, having more compassion about how much time they had or whatever is going on that I'm not aware of, and that's bigger than what's at that's bigger than the moment that the small detail or whatever it is.
Okay, thank you. Ronnie, how about you?
Hello. I was just trying to read through what it is. So I would say that recently what I have experienced in the way I communicate with, it could be people I work with or it could be my clients, is I have started to communicate in a very empathetic manner, not in a way that, oh, this is what you owe me or this is what you have to get it done. No, I just am trying to use my words very carefully because I know how I feel when somebody would write that to me. So, and I think that is so powerful because that completely dissolves the other person, even though they have something against you or something's going on in their life. And the words are really impactful. So something I didn't know, but I'm learning, and
Okay,
it's
very
great.
good.
I think that's something that I would give away. Thanks, and please go miles. So
Thank you. Latonya, how about you?
I'm not sure this fits what we're talking about. The only experience that comes to mind is that I learned, so my style of leadership is generally, I felt very visionary and wanted to support people and allow them to have autonomy because that's what's important to me. And I realized that the setting that I was in wasn't conducive to that. So I had team members that didn't respond very well to that. And I actually was required to be more autocratic. And I was very resentful about that because I hate when people do that to me. But I realized as a leader that I have to manage everyone. I can't just cherry pick and say, okay, well, I'm going to work with the people that want to be visionary. And that is my responsibility to meet everyone where they are.
I see. Thank you for sharing. Well, Anthony, do you have some thoughts to offer?
Sure. For me, I think it's like when I'm on a team, it's just being less critical of others and being open to maybe seeing others' views or other ways of doing things, and not my way is the right way, and then being open to other, like like it says, innovate, like open to other solutions and things like that, and not just one solution. I'm a stickler to like, this is the way to do it, and let others express their opinions and their outcomes, no matter how I feel about it, but like being less critical of their outcome of work, because it doesn't have to be perfect every time. You know what I mean? So I think for me, that's kind of the perspective I see in being a leader or being on the team.
Good, thank you. So Kathy sent a text or a chat that she had to leave because of her child. Well, then let's. Okay. So I continue with the presentation then. So thank you again for sharing. We practiced choosing different SAGE paths in addition to or in lieu of our primary response patterns dictated by our saboteurs. By doing this over and over, you will create new neurological paths, and that way behavior patterns that are healthier and offer more satisfaction. This will lead to mastery of self-regulation. The self-regulation is the ability to understand and manage your physical, emotional, and mental reactions so that you can perform and behave more skillfully under stress. It helps you manage your feelings, energy states, and thoughts from one moment to the next. It gives you more control over your behavior and reactions to the things happening within and around you. So I will offer you an 8-step handout to take home so you can practice at your own pace. So let's assume a stressful situation like holding a presentation and having lost focus. So you begin with an awareness. So when you feel yourself slipping into a spiral of stress, pause and ask, am I present? What's happening inside of me? Has a stress response been triggered? And using your four body mind shifts like breathe, move, acknowledge, and reframe will help calm you and bring you back to the present. So first become just aware of this is what happens, and just acknowledging, oh my God, I'm stressed and I lost it right now. But without, and then you breathe to really kind of just center yourself, and breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system and lowers your heart rate, which helps you calm down. Consciously shifting your attention from your spiraling mind to your body, it also activates centers in your brain that will help you become more present again. So as you breathe deeply, consciously move into an expansive and more open and upright posture. So you stretch out, if you will. Even if you sit in a chair, move your head up and stretch your shoulders. When you stand, try to pull your head basically literally up from the top. Research shows that sitting or standing in an upright posture significantly increases your self-esteem and mood when compared with a slumped position. So moving your body can also help you get out of the freeze state that your mind might be experiencing, in particular when you're stressed. So naturally, when we're in the middle of an unpleasant experience, we resist it. Our survival instinct is to avoid pain or discomfort. Instead, you can acknowledge, try to approach that you're noticing internally with an accepting attitude. A non-judgmental stance promotes emotional non-reactivity. Like I said, I think, okay, I am stressed, or this is not going well. But avoid negative thoughts like I'm a failure, or I'm stupid, or are likely being to bring about unpleasant emotions like feeling insecure, ashamed, or embarrassed. So positive thoughts like I can handle this, I'll be okay, are more likely to lead to pleasant emotions like feeling confident, reassured, and hopeful. Through reframing and compassionate self-talk, you can activate sections of your prefrontal cortex that help you become present again. So these are 8 steps in particular in stressful situation that if you want to, you can practice. So you create an awareness inside yourself that you can manage. Instead of getting in a negative thought path, you manage to go into a positive thought path. You can download that, like I said, the solutions little PDF from the chat. It must be somewhere in there. Mark, is it already posted?
Yes, it excuse me, it should be yeah, Lori put it in there.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. It's
up a little.
It's G3.
There it is. Lori put it in.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So I walked you through a complex coaching program in 90 minutes and hope that some insights will stick. You found out about your most dominant voices in your head. And typically when you go through a full coaching process, you really look at the 3 top saboteurs, not just the one that we briefly touched on tonight. So that these dominant voices in your head, they're called the saboteurs. You learned more about them. You learned how they helped you in your career and life path and how they impact your thinking and behavior in a negative way. At least a glance of it, you gathered it tonight. I showed you some alternative thought patterns to practice and called them the sages. So being aware of how you feel and what sensation your emotions create in your body are essential steps to using these tools and practices appropriately. Now, meditation practices often help with better understanding your emotions and physical sensations. And the coaching school Positive Intelligence adds a series of practices to help individuals to be in control or at least aware of their senses. It's an app-based approach. Actively using your senses can add to an increased level of what is called presence or sharpness of mind, if you will. And I have not added this part to the presentation at all. We packed already a lot in a very short period of time. So please keep in mind, only repetitive practice will offer lasting results. That's pretty much all the presentation I have to offer for tonight. So thank you very much for being here with me, with us. I'm more than happy to answer any questions if you have, and let me know what you think.
Well, I think everyone has your email address correct, Elisabeth?
Yes, they do, because everybody gave me the
Yes, exactly.
profile.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you so much, Elisabeth. Thank you all for working with us through some of our technical difficulties. And I thought it was a really great group. I will be sending out just a confirmation or a thank you email. And for those who were here, you will receive learning units. And there will be a little brief, summary of if you have any questions about your learning units in the thank you. So thank you again, Elisabeth. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you at the next Lunch and Learn. Take care, everyone.
Awesome.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.